morning. Namaste to each of you. Thank you for joining me this morning to honor your mind and your body and your spirit. Let's start this morning by getting seated in a nice, comfortable position, either on a cushion or a blanket, something that will help your spine be nice and long. Opening up your chest, opening up your diaphragm, and opening up your heart. Softly close your eyes and soften your thoughts. Soften your eyes, soften your shoulders, soften your heart. Observe your breath as it is, soft and gentle, breathing life into you with each inhale and relaxation with each exhale. Feel the grace of being present, returning to that awareness again and again. You may open your eyes now. For this morning's intention, you may think of a positive word or phrase to have with you on your mat and perhaps carry with you throughout the day. This morning's intention I'd like to talk about is September being National Yoga Awareness Month. So we're going to celebrate all month of September with different practices. But National Yoga Awareness Month started in 2008. And this month is dedicated to raising the awareness of the practice of yoga and its many health benefits. Health benefits including improved physical health by having more flexibility and strength and balance, basically. Can wrap that all into one package called mobility. And then improved emotional health, inner peace and mental focus, and wrapping that into just being mindful. Ways to celebrate during this month. We follow the 8 limbs of yoga in my classes. So perhaps studying the yamas and niyamas, living your life through their guidelines. You can maybe pick one yama and one niyama each week, because there's 5 of each and there's 5 weeks in September. And just kind of filter your life through that yama and niyama for the week. You could practice the pranayamas, the breathing techniques of conscious breathing, and just being aware of having your breath be full from the stomach all the way up to the chest, that dirja breathing, the complete breathing. You can meditate, and if you already do meditate, perhaps try a different style of meditating. You could discover new ways of doing it by maybe going on a mindful walk, or if you do a guided meditation, maybe do one that's not guided, or maybe even incorporate a candle, the Tritaka focal point in your meditation practice. And then for asanas, the actual practice of poses, postures, perhaps try a 30-day challenge. I often do the 30-day challenges by Adrian, Yoga by Adrian. And right now I'm doing what she calls a yoga camp. And it's 30 days, and it really kind of goes back to the basics of yoga. And so that's an option. I thought for our classes each week, what we would do is celebrate by experiencing a different style of the Hatha yoga. And the Hatha yoga is the style that the school that we usually think of in yoga on the western side of the pond. Styles you may have heard of under the Hatha is the vinyasa, or even kind of accelerated version of vinyasa is called power yoga. There's hot yoga, which used to be called Bikram. There's Ashtanga, Iyengar, Yin yoga, restorative yoga, Kundalini yoga. And there's one that we're going to be doing today that I don't often see on the list, but it is a style of yoga, and it's called chair yoga. Voila, we have a chair today. So let me get to the chair and we'll start that. So if you would like to grab a chair that doesn't have arms in it, and it provides, well, typically, and I noticed this in my chairs in my house, my old chairs, my antique chairs, have a lumbar support. And the lumbar region is from the bottom of your ribs to the pelvic area. So it's this lower back area that it will support. So something without arms, something that will support your lumbar posture. And I want to have you think of a chair as a prop, not something that you're confined to. And we'll get into props and the benefits of props in another class, but with the chair, you're often either standing or you're sitting, or laying down. Those are the three positions that you are typically in. And a lot of us spend a lot of time in a chair. So to be able to do some asanas, poses or postures, just to help you keep flexible and strength is a great thing. It's not because you are confined, although that might be. You may need a low impact style of yoga for a while, maybe following an illness or surgery. But a lot of us who are sitting either in an office situation, or if you travel a lot, you're sitting in a car or a train or a plane, it would be nice to be able to get some use out of your sitting posture and being able to stretch and incorporate some yoga moves. So that's what we're going to do today. And I want to start with, like what I do in my regular classes, the essentials of good posture by doing mountain pose. I'm going to do the essentials of sitting. So the essentials of sitting is that you would have your knees over your ankles, and your knees would be at the same height as your hips. Now, in this chair, my hips are higher than my knees, so I can use another prop, like a blanket, or depending on this chair, it might even be a block, to bring my knees up in line with my hips. So I have a right angle from my ankles coming up to my knees, and then from the knees coming to the hips. My spine is nice and straight and tall. Again, I have this lumbar support against my lower back, so I can lean back and be very comfortable in this for a long period of time. My shoulders are relaxed and rolled back. Chin is tucked slightly toward my chest, creating a nice flat top for my head. And if you're at a desk, it's all about right angles. If you're at a desk, ideally your elbows would be at a right angle. So oftentimes nowadays they have the keyboards to your computer under the desk so that you're keeping your arms at that right angle. So that's the essentials of good sitting posture. So let's start our class. And we'll just start with a lot of the poses that we typically do. And again, think of like if you do a lot of traveling, some of these, like most of these would be accessible to you to do, just kind of loosen up and keep loose during your journey. So we're going to start with some head nods. So we're going to exhale, bringing our head down toward our lap, and then inhale, lifting our eyes up toward the sky, but not directly above, it's above the tree line. And then exhale, bringing it back down again, stretching out the back of your neck. And then inhale, lifting your eyes up toward the tops of the trees. Exhale, come back down again. Inhale, come back up. And one last time, exhale, come back down. And come back up. And come back to a neutral sitting position. And then we're going to turn our head to the left, just gently turning it so that our chin is reaching toward our shoulder. And then come back to the center. And then over to the right. And then exhale back to center. Inhale to the left. Exhale back to center. Inhale to the right. And then inhale back to center. Then we'll do some shoulder shrugs. So one way of doing it is just kind of rubbing your lap. So you're kind of rolling your shoulders up toward your ears, toward your back, and then coming down, and your hands are kind of rolling across your lap, just back and forth. So inhale up, exhale, bring your shoulders down. Inhale up, making a nice gentle roll. Again, with this exercise, we're trying to loosen up our shoulders, not wind them up tight. Your breath will really help in that, to accomplish that. And then reverse your direction. And then back to central. And then with our sun breaths, usually we put our fingertips on the mat, but just put them out straight. And we'll do a modification of this if you have neighbors and you're sitting next to you, so that you're not kind of infringing on their space. So inhale, bring your arms up, exhale, back down. This is a great one to do at your desk. Inhale up, exhale down, especially the breathing part if you're a little bit stressed out. Inhale up, exhale down, nice calming breaths. Inhale up, exhale down. And then inhale up, and when we reach the top, we're going to twist our torso to the right. And depending on your chair, you can bring your right hand down to your left knee and maybe your left arm behind the chair. If you can't go behind the chair, just bring your left arm down right beside your ribs. So then we'll lift up, inhale, and turn and twist over to the right. and bring our arm down. Inhale up. Twist to the left, exhale down. Inhale up. Gently twist to the right, exhale down. Inhale up. And twist to the left, exhale down. And keeping your right hand on your left knee, we're going to bring our left fingertips, bringing them over, crossing over the arm, and then over to the right knee. And then we're going to bring our arms up into eagle arms. So you can have the backs of your hands together, or if you can bring the palms of your hands together. We'll lift our elbows up to about shoulder height, whatever's comfortable for you. And then exhale, bringing them back down. Inhale, bring the elbows up to about shoulder height. Exhale down. And inhale up. And exhale down. And release your hands to your lap. And we'll do that sequence again. And this time, instead of having our hands out to the side for our sun breaths, we're going to have our hands out in front of us. So inhale, lifting your hands from your knees all the way up. This won't infringe on your neighbor. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Just thinking about doing the wave during a football game or a basketball game. Exhale down. Inhale up one last time. And exhale down. And then we're going to do the twist again. So inhale, lifting up, twisting to the right. And again, you bring your left hand down to your right knee. Your right arm goes either behind the chair or alongside your rib cage, whichever works for your chair. And then inhale, sweeping up, twisting to the left. Exhale, come back down. Inhale up, sweeping over to the right, come back down. Inhale up, sweeping to the left, come back down. One more time, sweeping up, twisting to the right, come back down. And keep your left hand on your right knee. We're going to bring our right knee over, placing it on the left knee. And then with our arms crossed, we're going to bring the backs of our palms together, or the backs of our hands together, or the palms together into eagle arms. Bringing our elbows up to our shoulders. And then we're going to bring them back down on the exhale. Inhale, lifting the elbows up. Exhale, bringing them back down. Inhale, lifting the elbows up. Exhale, bringing them back down. And one last time, inhale up. And exhale down. And then we're going to bring our arms to the front, Anjali Mudra, but we're going to have the palm part a little bit higher than that, so that when we open up our arms, they go into goal posts. And then we're going to lift our arms up to the sky, kind of pushing as we go up, and then pulling as we come down. So you're making, you know how you make a fist? So you have that tension in your arms that you're actually making not a fist, but whatever you call that on your arm. And then we're going to bring them back in front of us. And then inhale, open to goalposts, pushing up pulling down, really, really feel like you're pushing and pulling, and then gently bringing them back to center, opening up, goalposts, pushing up, pulling down, and then closing gently back in front of us. And one last time, opening up to goalposts, pushing up, push, and then pulling down, and then gently closing back in front of us. And you can release your hands on your lap. Your hands would come to where your knees are, and your elbows are tucked so that they're just over your thighs. We're going to do some side stretches. So typically we have our arm out to the side. We bring our elbow down toward the mat with our arm up above and reaching over. And it's the same idea. We're going to lift our left arm up along our ears. We're going to have our hand on our knee, but we're going to bring our elbow down to the lap, and that will actually cause you to kind of do a little bit of a curve and bring you into that crescent shape of the side stretch. So then bring your arm back up and down, and we'll do that on the other side. So lifting your right arm up, your left arm is right over your thigh. We're going to bring the left elbow down to the thigh. That will cause us to tip over to the left. Then inhale, come back up. We'll do that again on each side. Bring your right hand to your right knee. Left arm comes up. Right elbow comes down toward your thigh, and you tip over to the right. Inhale, come back up. Left hand comes down, right arm goes up. Left elbow reaches toward your thigh and tip over to the left. And come back up. And bring both hands back to your knee. We often do, before we get into our bridge pose, what's called a supine cat-cow. So with this, sitting in the chair, basically what you're going to do is bring your navel toward your spine, kind of actively move that navel toward the spine, and tighten your glutes, your sitting material there. Tighten your glutes, and then relax. So it's a very small movement, but it has a lot of effort in it. So tuck your navel to your spine, tighten your glutes, and then relax. And you'll feel the curve of your spine just relax too. So we'll do that a couple more times. Tuck your navel to your spine, tighten your glutes. That's the cat part of it. And then relax so that your arch just kind of falls. Back of your spine just kind of gently arches. That's the cow part. One last time, tighten or tuck your navel to your spine, tighten your glutes, and then relax. Feel that nice natural curve of your spine. And then we'll take that a little further into more of a cat-cow. So we're going to bring our hands to our knees and round our back, tucking our chin toward our chest, sending our gaze toward our navel, bringing our elbows toward our thighs. And then we're going to open up our chest, sending our gaze up to the top of the tree line. That's the cow part, rather. And then exhale, rounding our back, sending our elbows down toward our thighs, tucking our chin in. And then opening up, opening our chest, sending our gaze up for cow. And one last time, exhale, rounding our back, tucking our chin, sending our gaze to our navel, elbows toward our thighs, rounding our back, and then inhale, lifting our chin up, opening our chest, sending our gaze up to the sky. And then another version of that, if you have room where you're sitting, you can, we'll do some circles with cat-cows. So I'm going to just kind of go to the left first. I'm going to send my chin out as the guide, sending it out and around, and then coming back. And as I come back, I'm going to tuck my chin down toward my chest, rounding my back. And then over to the left, I'm going to start to send my chin out on its journey, making a half circle, extend it out, and then rounding my back, tucking my chin in. And then sending my chin back out again one last time in this direction. And then we're going to reverse the direction, come all the way back to center, and then reverse the direction. Maybe you could get away with this one at an airport. Just kind of keep looking like you're looking for something on the floor without causing too much attention to yourself. I'm going to send that chin out and around. But as we know from our regular practice, cat and cows are just wonderful, wonderful ways of getting that flexibility in your spine, just kind of waking up the energy in your body. And I'm going around one last time. I'll meet you back in the center. And there we go. So I've been doing this kind of sitting back in my chair, not all the way against the back of the chair. And most of this I will, but some of these I'm going to move a little bit forward. And this one I am going to move just a skosh forward. And just so that my feet can come off my towel. So for this next one, what we usually do is, well, actually, yeah, not this series, sorry. My feet don't need to come off the towel quite yet. Often what we do in our class is lift up our toes and spread them. So I invite you to do that, lifting up your toes and spreading as far as you can, and then bringing your toes back down and lifting up your heels, and then bringing them back down. And maybe it is a little bit better to have it off my towel. So lifting up your toes, spreading them as far apart. We can do this a couple times. Heels are on the ground. And then bring your toes back down, lifting your heels up off the ground. And then bringing your heels back down. One last time. Lift up your toes, spread them as far apart as you can. And then bringing your toes to the ground, lifting up your heels. And then bringing your heels back down. The next one we're going to do is forward folds. So I just invite you to slide your hands slowly along the tops of your thighs, around your knees, and then follow them down to your shins and down to your feet. Now, the idea here is not to drop the weight of your rib cage on your thighs, but keep those two separate so that you are actually doing the forward fold as if you were standing. And just let gravity take over here for a moment. And then we're going to bring our hands back to our feet, slide them up toward our shins, and do a half forward fold. And with that, you're going to send your chin out and really straighten out your back, kind of maybe push against your shins to really accentuate that long spine. And then we're going to drop our head back down, Sliding our hands back down to the mat or forward fold. Then slide your hands all the way up your legs, past your knees, up to your thighs, come back to a seated position. We'll do that one more time. So sliding your hands down over your knees, down your legs, past your shins, down to the floor, keeping that distance between your tummy and your thighs if you can. And just let gravity take over, let yourself hang here. And then slide your hands back up to the shins, sending your chin out, pushing against your shins so that your spine is nice and long and straight. And then sliding your hands back all the way down to the floor. And sliding them all the way up your legs, past your knees, back to your thighs. Then we're going to take our right toes and point them. Again, I might want to come out a little further toward the end of my seat here. Point them on the floor and then push our heel in on the floor. So we're going to point, touching the floor, and then flex our foot up toward, so the toes go up to the sky, pushing the heel against the floor. Point with our toes down on the floor, and then flex our toes up to the sky with our heel against the floor. Point, flex, point, flex, point, flex, and one last time, point, flex. And then we're going to lift our leg up, point, flex, point, flex, point, flex, point, flex, point, flex, and then return that foot back down. Actually, I didn't mean to return it down. I meant to cross it over. Take that right leg and cross it over your left knee. So you're in that seated position they say not to be in all the time with your knee crossed. And we're going to bring our hands to our heart center in Anjali Mudra. And we're going to do a few little twists. So we're going to touch our left elbow to our right knee, the knee that sits on top, and then come back. So exhale, bringing the left elbow to the right knee, and then come back. Exhale, elbow to knee, and come back. Exhale, elbow to knee, come back. And this last time, we're going to take the elbow, bring it to the outer part of the knee. And if this isn't comfortable for you, that's no worries. You can just return to center. And then we're going to take our Anjali Mudra and try to make it so that it's right in the center of our chest, really kind of torquing that twist a little bit further. And then come back to center. Now we're going to take this right leg and bring it into pigeon pose. So this is, we do this reclined pigeon pose often in our practice. So we're going to have our right ankle rather, sitting on top of our left leg. Left knee is right above the left ankle. We're going to flex the toes And we'll just sit like this. This might be a little tense for you. It is, you can just kind of bring your knee up a little bit higher, but try to guide your right knee down toward the mat, toward the floor. And if you're able to, you can pivot from the waist, and instead of bringing your knees to your chest like we do on our backs, you're bringing your chest toward your knees, but pivot with a straight back toward your knee or toward your leg. And then come back up and bring that leg down. We'll do that all on the other side. So starting again with our left foot now, we're going to point, pointing our toes, landing them on the floor, and then flex our toes up to the sky with our heel on the floor. Point, flex, point, flex, point, flex, point, flex, point, flex. And then we're going to lift our leg up and continue that point, flex, point, flex, point, flex, point, flex, point, flex. And then we're going to take that leg and cross it over. Just let it relax there for a moment. Bring our hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra. We'll take our right elbow and bring it to the left knee. Gentle twist. And then back. And then twist again, knee, elbow to knee. And back. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale back. Exhale, elbow to knee. And back. And this time we're going to bring our elbow to the outer part of our knee. Kind of catch it in there. Twisting so that we can bring our Anjali Mudra right to the center of our chest. And just kind of twerking that twist a little bit, if that's comfortable for you. And then we'll bring it back to center. We'll take this left leg, bring it into a reclined pigeon pose modification here. So our left ankle's sitting right on top of our right knee. Really should have, I can feel that knee dipping down. So bringing my blanket there brings that knee up. So that's a little bit better. And then just kind of guiding that left knee down toward the floor. We're flexing our left foot so our toes are pointing straight ahead. This is reclined pigeon. And just kind of breathe into that. Great hip opener. And then if you want to have a little bit more of a stretch, instead of bringing your knees to your chest, we're going to bring our chest toward our knees, pivoting with a nice straight back, bringing our chest toward our leg. And then come back. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is, and I'm going to take my blanket away for this one. I'm going to come quite a bit to the edge of my chair. In this situation, the legs of my chair is where I'm going to place my heels, and I'm going to turn my toes out so that my feet are at a 45-degree angle. This is what we do with the wide-legged stance. We point our toes to the corners of the mat, bring our heels in at a 45-degree angle. We have the wide-legged stance going on here. So then I'm gonna bring my arms in front of me. And we're gonna do the 180s. And I'll show you a modification so you know. Karate chopping your neighbor here. So we do the original version if you don't have anyone near you. So we're gonna swing our right hand to the right at 180 degrees, bringing your left fingertips to your right shoulder. And twist around, keeping our gaze on our hands. And then coming back, bringing that right hand back to center, bringing the left hand to meet it. And then we'll do that on the other side. So left hand goes out in a 180-degree semicircle. We're following it with our eyes. Right hand goes to the left shoulder. And then come back. So if you do have someone, you don't want to give them a karate chop. Bring your right hand down. So this, instead of the right hand doing the 180, it's gonna just remain on your knee, your right knee. And then we're gonna follow the left fingertips with our gaze and just bring those left fingertips to our right shoulder. And then bring them back. And then you can drop the left hand to the left knee. Lift your right arm up. Focus on your right fingertips and follow them as they come over to your left shoulder. And then back again. Let's do both ways once again. So both arms up. Right arm does the 180 degrees. We'll follow the right fingertips with our eyes, bringing the left fingertips to the right shoulder. And then bringing the right hand back to the center in front of us. And then we'll swing the left hand around, bringing our right hand to the left shoulder. And then bringing them all back to center. We drop our right hand to our right knee. Now focusing on the left fingertips, we're going to watch them as they come in and land on our left shoulder. And then come back again. And then drop the left fingertips on our left knee. Bring out the right hand. Follow the right fingertips with our eyes as it comes and lands on our left shoulder. And then come back. There, drop that. So the next one is thread the needle. So we're going to bring our right arm up and then sweep it through this hole that is created by having our left hand on our left knee. We're going to sweep it right through that hole, bringing our right shoulder down toward our left knee. And then come back again. And remember that thread the needle is to relax your upper body. So you do want to try to relax that. I know it feels a little tense when you're trying it for the first time, but lift your left hand up and send it through the hole on your right side. And then just think about relaxing your shoulder down toward your right knee. And then come back. We'll do that one more time on each side. Both hands are on our knees. We'll lift our right arm up, sending our right fingertips through the eye the needle, threading the needle, and then bring our right shoulder over toward our left knee, just relaxing down toward it. And then come back up. Right hand goes on the right knee, left hand comes up, and then it goes through the hole, the eye of the needle, bringing our left shoulder down toward our right knee. And then coming back up. And then our next one is going to be a modification of Warrior Two. So it's mostly working the upper part of our body of the Warrior Two. Keep our legs in that wide-legged stance. We're going to swing our arms up to shoulder height. And this one, I can't think of modifications, so you're going to have to not have neighbors next to you. And then we're going to slowly turn our gaze over to the left fingertips. And then drop our right arm down, lifting our left fingertips up, coming into reverse warrior, keeping our eyes on our fingertips. And then come back down. We're going to send our left forearm to our left thigh. Sweep our right hand up to the sky, sending our gaze up to our right hand. So extended side angle. And then we're going to go into a variation of pyramid. So we're going to take our left hand, sliding it down our left leg, down to the floor. So this is coming into a triangle pose. And then lifting ourselves back up. And we'll do that on the other side. So sweeping our hands up again. We're going to gently turn our gaze to look at our right fingertips. So just embody everything that feels great in Warrior Two. From the waist up. Our navel's tucked to our spine. Our chest is facing the straight edge of our mat. Our gaze is gently on our right fingertips. And then lowering our left hand as we raise our right hand up to the sky, following our fingers with our gaze. Reverse warrior. And then bringing our right forearm down to our right thigh, sweeping our left hand up toward the sky, sending our gaze up to our left hand for extended side angle. And then sliding our right hand down our right leg to the floor for triangle pose. So chair yoga can be as easy or as challenging as you want it to be. I find this pose quite challenging. I found we can lift back up. I found by doing my practice run of this, it's like I'm working different muscles than I usually do. And some of the same, but I know last night after I did it is like, oh, there are different muscles being worked here. So for our last series, we're going to do some from the edge of our seat again. Actually, I don't know if it needs to be the edge of the seat. Maybe you can scooch back a little bit in the edge of your seat. Actually, I think that works better because we're going to bring our knees to our chest, so one at a time. And that's the one thing with chair yoga, you can't really, knees to chest on our backs, we bring both up, and that feels quite nice. So this would be, you can try it, but one at a time probably works a little better. So bring your knee to your chest, interlacing your finger around the bottom of part of your knee. And this I discovered, you can, if you want to bring your heel to the chair, this is how I put my socks on now. I used to try to do it like this, and my lower back would yell at me for doing that. So I bring my knees to my chest, rest my heel on the seat now, and put my socks on or my shoes on this way. So there's no yelling lower back at me anymore. So we're going to take knees to chest, we're going to take the heel off the seat and just make circles. We'll go one direction with our foot, and then we're going to reverse the direction with our toes. And then we're going to send our foot out in front of us, toe pointed, flexing our foot, pointing our toe again, and then bringing it back, knees to chest. So we'll do that several times. Send your foot out in front of you, toes pointed, flex the toes, then point the toes, and then bringing your knee back to your chest. A little variation of what we did earlier. So stretching out, pointing your toe, flexing your foot, pointing your toe, then bringing it back, knee to chest. 2 more times, pushing it out, flexing your toes, pointing your toes, knee to chest. One last time, sending it out, pointing the toes, flexing the toes, pointing the toes, knee to chest. And then we're going to set that down. And then we're going to bring our left hand to our right knee rather, and send our hand right in back of us. So it's going to sit on the chair right behind our hips. And this is our version of reclined twist that we like to do toward the end of our yoga practice. So we're just kind of keep our chest open to the right side. Feel that nice, gentle twist. And then come back to center, and we'll do that on the other side. So we start with our knees to our chest and making nice circles with our foot. Oh, my left foot knows how to make a circle here. There we go. There we go. And then reverse the direction. And then we're going to send our foot out, pointing our toes, flexing our foot, pointing our toe, and then back, knee to chest. Really give it a nice hug. Then extend your foot out again, flex your foot, point your toes, and then bringing it back, knees to chest. And then extending it out again, point your toes, then flex your foot, then point your toes, and then bringing it back to your chest again, knees to chest. Nice hug one last time. Sending it out, pointing your toe, flexing your foot, pointing your toe, and then bringing it back, knees to chest. And then sending your foot back down to the floor. And bring our right hand to our left knee, then left hand right behind our hips, right on the seat of the chair. Reclining twist, but sitting twist, this version, with our chest open to the left. I have a little bit of pressure on with my right hand against my left knee, just kind of, again, torque my body a little bit more to the left. That's optional. And then bringing it back. And for our last pose, can't do chair yoga without chair pose, right? So this is something I saw just yesterday on a video, not the chair pose, but the point being made of as we progress in our life, we should be able at all times to lift ourselves out of a chair without using the armrest, like pushing down on the armrest. So chair pose is a great exercise to help with that. But I think if we just want to, we're going to do a few just getting out of the chair without using our hands, and then do a few chair pose versions. So if you would kindly extend your arms out front, and then we're just going to get out of the chair and sit in the chair as you normally would. That's what I would suggest first. Kind of figure out where you would be coming from in a seated position. So maybe you're all the way back, maybe not. Send your arms out, and I would suggest when you first do one, kind of feel where your feet are. Is it the ball of your foot, the heel of your foot? That's really doing the pushing down there. So come up out of the chair, and then come and sit back down. So I don't know if that was hard or easy for you, but I suggest trying again and really focusing on putting the pressure into the heel of your foot. So really focusing on sending that heel into the ground and coming up. And then back down. So we'll try that a couple more times and play around and see if that heel method works. And come back all the way down. And then come back up. And then come back down. And then this last time, we're just going to come up. And then we're going to lower our, bend our knees, touching our butt against the chair, and then lifting back up. So this is the real yoga version of chair pose. So bending your knees, just lightly tapping the chair with your sit bones, your glutes, and then coming back up again. I'll do a few of those. Again, see if pushing down in your heels or your whole foot, whichever feels right for you. And then one last time. And then we'll come down and sit. So in our class today, we didn't have time for meditation at the beginning of it. I thought I'd reserve it to the end, which is, if you follow the 8 limbs of yoga, that's actually where the meditation comes after the asana practice. So we'll reestablish the essentials of good sitting posture. But as I have been learning from this gentleman by the name of Light Watkins, who's a meditation teacher, make yourself comfortable. Don't be rigid. Don't be like in Downton Abbey. I learned from watching one of the behind the scenes show that they were taught, all the ladies were taught that when they were at the dining table, they could not rest their back against the chair. That was just not protocol at all back in that era. You had to sit upright all through the dinner, not having your back touch the back of the chair. So don't do a Downton Abbey if it's not comfortable for you. What Light Walk-ins suggest is be comfortable in your meditation. And we'll just take a few moments here, gently close our eyes and soften our thoughts. And just let the nutrients of today's practice soak within us. And I have a poem for us this morning titled Sitting by Phyllis, Webb. The degree of nothingness is important. To sit emptily in the sun, receiving fire, that is the way to mend an extraordinary world. Sitting perfectly still and only remotely human.